Margat, also known as Markab from the Arabic Qalat al-Markab, is a castle near Banias, Syria, which was a Crusader fortress and one of the major strongholds of the Knights Hospitaller. It is located around 2 kilometers from the Mediterranean coast and approximately 6 kilometers south of Banias. The castle remained in a poor state of preservation until 2007, when some reconstruction and renovation began. Fortress history. Margat is located on a hill formed by an extinct volcano about 360 meters above sea level on the road between Tripoli and Latakia, overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. According to Arab sources, the site of Margat Castle was first fortified in 1062 by Muslims who continued to hold it within the Christian Principality of Antioch in the aftermath of the First Crusade. When the principality was defeated at the Battle of Harran in 1104, the Byzantine Empire took advantage of their weakness and captured Margat from the Muslims. A few years later it was captured by Tancred, Prince of Galilee, regent of Antioch, and became part of the principality. In the 1170s it was controlled by Reynold II Mazwar of Antioch as a vassal of the Count of Tripoli. The fortress was so large that it had its own household officials and a number of rear vassals. Reynaud's son Bertrand sold it to the Hospitallers in 1186 as it was too expensive for the Mazwar family to maintain. After some rebuilding and expansion by the Hospitallers, it became their headquarters in Syria. Under Hospitaller control, its 14 towers were thought to be impregnable. In 1188, Saladin marched on Margat, having left cracked as chevaliers in search of easier prey. According to Abul-Fida, recognizing that Markab was impregnable and that he had no hope of capturing it, he passed on to Jabala. It was one of the few remaining territories left in Christian hands after Saladin's conquests. By the beginning of the 13th century, the Hospitallers controlled the surrounding land and roads and made a large profit from travelers and pilgrims passing through. Isaac Comnenus of Cyprus was imprisoned there after Richard I of England captured Cyprus from him during the Third Crusade. The bishop of nearby Valenia also used Margat as his headquarters after around 1240. Margat was second in size and power only to the other Hospitaller fortress to the south, cracked as Chevaliers. In September 1281 the Hospitallers of Margat dispatched a contingent of troops to support the Mongol invasion of Syria, which the Mamluk Sultan of Egypt Kaloran successfully prevented after defeating the coalition at Homs. To punish the Hospitallers, Kaloran clandestinely raised an army in Damascus and besieged Margat on 17 April 1285. After a 38-day siege during which sappers and miners managed to dig several tunnels underneath the fortress's walls, a mine destroyed a salient of the southernmost wall. The defenders panicked and, on discovering the numerous tunnels around the fortress, surrendered to the Mamluk commander Fakhr al-Din Mukri on 23 May, with Kalwan entering Margat 2 days later. The siege was witnessed by 11-year-old Abul-Fida and his father, the Ayyubid governor of Hama. Kaloran allowed the Hospitallers to leave with everything they could carry. Rather than destroy Margat as he did with other fortresses, he repaired its defenses and placed a strong garrison there due to its strategic value. Margat, known as Markab by the Muslims, became a district of the Mamluk province of Tripoli with maintenance of the area financed by the Sultan. Intrepid traveller Ibn Battuta visited the fortress and noted that a suburb was built outside of it for foreigners, who were not allowed entry into the fortress. The district governor based at the Markab fortress held the military rank of Emir of 20 Mamluks. He was charged with defending the coast, particularly from threats from the island of Cyprus, and maintaining the guard towers and observation posts. During the Berger Mamluk period, Margat was well known in the region for containing an imperial prison with many high-profile inmates. The 15th-century Muslim historian Khalil al-Zahiri noted that Markab fortress was among the most important sites of Tripoli province. Markab was clearly impregnable and controls a territory containing numerous villages. During the Ottoman era, Margat became the administrative center of a Qaza of the same name, which contained 3 nahiyas and Endash, Margat, Kadmus, and Garwabi. In the 1890s there was a total of 393 localities with a collective population of 39,671, of whom 21,121 were Alawites. The chief agricultural products were olives, onions, tobacco and silk, which were largely marketed to Beirut-based merchants. The fortress served as the residence of the Kaymakam of the district until 1884, when the seat was transferred to Banias. Architecture: castles in Europe provided lordly accommodation for their owners and acted as centers of administration. In the Levant, the need for defense was paramount, and this was reflected in castle design. Historian Hugh Kennedy suggests that the castle, scientifically designed as a fighting machine, surely reached its apogee in great buildings like Margat and Crac des Chevaliers. Like the Crac des Chevaliers, Margat is a large spur castle with many typical elements of a concentric castle. It has a bent entrance leading through the base of a gate tower. A notable feature of the inner defences is a large circular tower, sometimes referred to as a donjon. Unlike the Crac des Chevaliers, Margat has a large outer ward, giving it a larger total area. Village of Al-Markab. The village of Al-Markab is located just north of the castle, straddling the road leading north to the coastal city of Banias. Nearby localities besides Banias include Talan to the east, Otaiba to the southeast, with Basatin al-Assad and al-Baydah to the south. According to the Syria Central Bureau of Statistics, Al-Markab had a population of 2,618 as of the 2004 census. Its inhabitants are predominantly Sunni Muslims. Together, Al-Markab, Basatin al-Assad, al-Baydah and Banias city form a mostly Sunni Muslim inhabited enclave in an area largely populated by members of the Alawite community. A suburb has existed outside the fortress since at least the late 12th century, during Crusader rule. During this period, its chief exports were sumac, wine, must, almonds, figs and pottery. In 1325, North African geographer Ibn Battuta visited the suburb. In 1938, Al-Markab stood near the foot of the fortress and was among 5 Sunni Muslim villages in the area, which also contained several Alawite, Greek Orthodox, Greek Catholic, and Maronite villages. In 1945, at the end of the French Mandate, Al-Markab had a population of 832.